Welcome to POUSE out of the house. In this video I'm going to show you how to replace the front brake pads on a Suzuki DRZ400sm. And throughout the video I'll show you exactly the tools and products that I use to complete the task. So first of all, we unscrew this cap using a flat bladed screwdriver. Removing this cap exposes an Allen bolt, which is the pin holding your brake pads together. Now use a 5mm Allen key and undo the bolt, turning anti-clockwise. If like me you're struggling to loosen the bolt, you can go around the other side of the brake caliper, apply a little bit of releasing fluid, or in my case a bit of WD-40 to the thread, and leave for a few minutes to loosen up. Just be careful not to get the fluid on the discs or the pads. So having left that a few minutes, I go back around the other side with my 5mm Allen key, I turn anti-clockwise and loosen the bolt. Just remember, this is the pin that holds the brake pads in place, so as you loosen up, they may fall out. Using a 12mm socket and a wrench, we now loosen the two bolts holding the calipers to the bike. Once released, I can then undo by hand. We can now lift the calipers away from the bike in order to replace the brake pads. You'll also notice that one of my brake pads falls out on the floor. So now you can see clearly this is the pin or the bolt that was holding in the brake pads, and these are the pistons which we'll have to compress with a clamp in a minute to ensure we fit the new brake pads in. So now I'll hold the old brake pads over the new brake pads and just make sure they are the same size before I tear the packet open, and I'll put a link to a few of the brake pads available in the description section below. Now if you try to fit the new brake pads into place, you'll notice they don't fit because the pistons are sticking out too far. Using a small clamp, I compress both pistons to make room for the new brake pads. And when there's enough room for both brake pads with a gap for the disc, we can then apply some copper grease to the back of the brake pads. Again, I'll put a link to the copper grease in the description section below. Then take your brake pads and place them into the calipers the right way round. Then place the pin through the hole in the brake pads, and if one brake pad falls out like in my case, then just ensure there's no grit in the grease. If there is, wipe it down, re-grease and try again. Then using your Allen key, tighten up. So manoeuvre the caliper back onto the bike with the brake pads either side of the disc, locating the bolt holes on the caliper with the holes on the bike. Then I apply a bit of copper grease to the bolt, I place that back through the caliper and tighten up by hand. Then I do the same with the other bolt. Using a 12mm socket, I continue to tighten up by hand all the way, and then using the wrench I tighten up both bolts. Now, it doesn't tell you the torque settings in the manual, but I have browsed Google and this would suggest a torque setting of 25 Nm. However, I've just done it up by feel and experience. Now taking your 5mm Allen key, you can fully tighten the pin or the bolt holding the brake pads in place, and again I just tighten this up to what feels right. Now I take the pin cap, I screw it into place by hand, then taking my flat bladed screwdriver, I tighten up. Now squeeze the front brake a good few times to position the brake pads and pistons back into place, and you're done. If you found this video useful, then please give it a like, and don't forget to watch my other videos, watch, like, share, and finally if you haven't done so already, it'd really help me out if you subscribe to this channel and press that bell icon for regular notifications. I've been POUSE out of the house. Ta-ta, farewell.